I think these comic books are trending. Another week, another list, an Overstreet Price Guide advisor in the house. How you feeling, my brother?
I am fantastic, Tom. I'm so excited because we've got a free comic book day book on this list. We have brand new comics out this week and some throwbacks that we've talked about before. It's going to be a great list.
We have hot books on this list that are indeed trending, but they're selling for some of the cheapest amounts that we've seen in years. Hit the like, slap the subscribe button, and if you're in Denver, Fan Expo, come say hi. I'll be in the comics section with Heron Heavens and Fire Guy Ryan at the list at number 10. Black Cat number 12, debuting in 2020. This is a variant featuring Iron Cat in armor on the cover.
We are seeing $25 average sales with a $40 high sale for this Scone variant. Now, the main cover of Black Cat number 12 from 2020 is a J. Scott Campbell cover that has Iron Man and Black Cat on the cover. So the one that people are looking for is the first cover appearance of the Iron Cat outfit.
An increase of copies sold of 250% after the debut of Iron Cat issue number 1 this week, but we'll get to that a little bit later on the list. Issue number 11 of Black Cat features at the end a full appearance of Felicia in the Iron Cat armor, so that is the first full. However, issue 12, we have a J. Scott Campbell cover, but it's not Iron Cat on that issue. It's on the variant by Scone, which is why this book is spiking this week. If you enjoy what we do, you like these 10 books that we source from the best app in the world to learn about funny books, Key Collector Comics, you need to utilize the code TOM101 to support the show, but take a look at the full list, the trending 20. Russ, there are other books that spiked this week.
Key Collector is a fantastic app and everyone should be using it, especially for all of this information, which is why we've got a book like this one on the list, number 9, Vengeance number 1 from 2011.
$260 average sales, a 9.8 in June, selling for $750. Hot damn, that's cheap for the first appearance of America Chavez.
Oh yeah.
I'll remind the community back in 2021, this book hit average 9.8 sales in the $1,200 to $1,500 range. I even saw a $2,000 sale mid-year.
Well, we are seeing a 133% increase in copies sold this week because we now have the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness streaming at home on Disney+, which is creating a renewed interest in her first appearance.
So, seeing this book drop royally is largely because the movie came and went, but this right here may be the optimal time to grab a first appearance of a character who is already slated to make multiple appearances in the MCU.
There is also an incredible 1 in 15 Mike Deodato variant cover. This book is great, and we saw a recent high sale of $3,500 in May, and that is down substantially from its $6,000 high sale in February of this year.
And what's this at number 8? Yet another Scout comic book that got option. Once Our Land number 1, debuting in 2016. We've talked about this before. Hold up. This book has been optioned for over a year and a half. And we got a teaser trailer this week. Hot damn.
Now, the teaser trailer was enough to move this a 300% increase over last week. We are seeing solid sales for $30 for the first print cover and $80 for a CGC 9.8. But you have to keep in mind that when we got the option news back in April of 2021, we had a buy it now for $260 for a CGC 9.8. So again, it's down substantially from the all-time high.
Keep this in mind, comic fan, when we're dealing with an animation project. It takes a while for these to come full circle, if they do. An increase of 300% is mighty as Fritz, who is an amazing lead character of this comic book. Ingrid, this young child that they partner up with to fight monsters. This trailer looks stunning, and this book hasn't sold for this cheap since option news over a year ago.
So when I first heard about this series, it had been a successful Kickstarter. It was a 2-part limited series, so only 2 issues, but set in 1830s Germany wasn't really piquing any of my interest. So when I got to hear a little bit more about the Monster Hunter aspect and the fact that it's this unlikely partnership, I really got interested. We've been talking about potential option news of this 2016 property since 2018, but we didn't really have any movement until 2021. So the fact that we now have a teaser trailer gives me a lot more hope to get this done. And for those of you that are looking for some sleeper keys, there is a second print cover that I think is very cool and completely undervalued right now.
The second print is affordable, and there's also convention exclusives the comic fam has to go check out on the app, because I gotta keep on moving quickly, with haste, to pick up these rings at number 7 with Sonic the Hedgehog issue number 50, the 1 in 50th celebration with 50 Sonics drawn on the 50th cover of the run.
This is such an awesome cover. This is the 1 in 50 Tyson Hesse variant, and we are seeing sales $115 average. Right now, there's 5 buy it nows on eBay for $120 or more. We know that this is a very popular comic book with video game players.
How many people ordered this book?
I have 4 people on Sonic, so this is going to be super, super low print
You
run.
didn't order 50?
I did not order 50 of this one, and I don't think most local comic shops would be able to support 50 issues of this book. So the people that bought a bunch of these are really going to be commanding whatever price they want for it. It's a hot looking cover. The art is great. And like I said, we have diehard video game people who are willing to pay this price.
Dude, after you watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you legit told me that I had to watch it because you enjoyed it so much.
It's good.
All right, at the list at number 6, we have Secret Wars number 2 debuting in 2015. Later last week, we found out, courtesy of a podcast, that the Reed Richards introduction in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness with that teleporting type of technology was indeed Doom tech that was being utilized, making Doctor Doom spec go off the chain more than it has over this year. And it's been getting pretty loud, pretty rowdy. Cool it, comic fam. I'm just kidding, because Howard Stern seemingly confirmed a Doom project, movie, series, something is in the works.
$15 average sales, $420 for a CGC 9.8 of this book. It's the first appearance of the God Emperor Doom.
An increase of 131% in copies sold in the last week. We know the Secret Wars are imminent. However, how similar will the debut of Secret Wars be to the comic books that, although may use the words incursion and will be discussing universes colliding, well, God Emperor Doom, an all-powerful entity with the Beyonders' powers, whose powers are more akin to the Doctor Doom in the failed Fantastic Four movie, you know, when he's just like moving his hand and blowing people's heads off, boys style, I think is very unlikely.
Now, we've seen Doom before in different versions of Fantastic Four, and I really think God Emperor Doom is way too powerful for the MCU, and we're going to have to scale it back a little bit. Now, the reason why we're talking about Doom this week is because Howard Stern had a little bit of an audio outtake that came from his show this week, where he was talking to Robin about being in the filming of the new Doom project, which was unannounced until this leak.
Well, first off, you said it right before the show. The Beyonder happens to have a very similar haircut to Howard Stern. All right, at the list at number 5, what if Miles Morales issue number 4, seeing $15 average sales, a high sale approaching the $20, $25 marker, but we did see a high near mint copy go for 30 bones.
So we were seeing a 105% increase in copies sold this week, and this book actually was on the larger trending 20 list last week, but did not make the cut. This week, since it's still popular, it's still selling, we're talking about it.
First appearance of Miles, the God of Thunder, an increase of 105%. This What If series is being compared to how Marvel handled Luke Cage in the Bronze Age. A lot of stereotypes, so much that in the last week, the writer had to apologize for writing it in the first place and donate all proceeds he earned from doing the job.
I think donating all the proceeds is a great way to handle this situation. We have seen worse and more controversial things happening intentionally, whereas this author has definitely come out and said it was not intentional. Now, there have been quite a few media outlets that have done a little bit of pot stirring and may not have necessarily done the right way to do it. Now, we know that when this book came out, it had already been ordered a month before it was actually released on the shelves. And the demand was massive. I was getting phone calls about it Tuesday before we could even sell them on Wednesday to see if I had any extra copies. So when another media outlet came out and said there are still copies available for sale, they were showing the Penguin website, and those buttons are definitely not live. You could not have ordered them. So I know there were a lot of people trying to get those books, but they were not readily available. They were still sold out.
Comic fam, you got to hit the like button because that's why we have an LCS owner on the mic. We have Penguin Experience. Keep in mind, controversial books tend to spike up rapidly. If they get recalled because they have gone so far that we have to fix something, that's when these books tend to hold their value after the spike initially happens. This didn't happen.
Don't overpay for this book, comic fam, because this is one of those that is going to be available cheap in the next couple months as the buzz dies down.
Moving over to number 4 on the list, Ms. Marvel issue number 12, debuting in 2016. This right here is the first appearance of the Red Dagger. We knew the Red Dagger was coming to Disney Plus, and he arrived along with his posses. We have $20 average sales, and as of May, a $210 CGC 9.8. But wait, a buy it now that came and went for $100 this past week. Hot damn, someone got a good deal.
Now, episode 4 of Ms. Marvel just dropped this week, and people have been waiting for the appearance of Red Dagger for quite some time. And that's why this book, the first appearance of Red Dagger, is up 157% since last week. But I don't think people were expecting Red Dagger to be a family, a group of people who are all using their red daggers for vigilante purposes.
That's right. Those daggers can penetrate Ms. Marvel's like force field energy powers. Pretty cool. Definitely there to expand on her history because she's really getting to know about her family lineage. This comic had multiple variants and they're all pretty affordable.
So we have a 1 in 10 variant done by Mike Deodato that is selling for about $55, and there's a 1 in 25 by Joelle Jones selling for about $80. But the interesting thing is there's actually another 1 in 25 variant, which is the first cover appearance of Red Dagger. This one is done by Alessandro Taini and is going for over $200 raw, and I saw 9.8s going in the $700 to $750 range.
Sounds like a double key. At the list of number 3, a free comic book day that anyone could have gotten. However, it is a Avengers and X-Men title. We're talking the 2022 Avengers X-Men Judgment Day issue number 1. Russ, was this heavily ordered?
This was absolutely heavily ordered, Tom. For those of us that get free comic book day comics for our shops, Marvel books are always the big books.
I imagine that's like the easy one. Order a crap ton of that. So much to the point that they actually had a 1 in 1,000 incentive variant done by Peach Momoko of this comic book.
Okay, so the 1 in 1,000 Peach Momoko variant is absolutely gorgeous.
Stunning.
Right? But you could figure that most shops would have bought at least 50 to 100 copies of this book, which is why you are seeing this book going $3 average sales, but there are multiple mega packs on eBay. People are selling packs of 10, packs of 25, and you're getting them at $2 or $3 a book. Why would we care so much about a free comic book day book, Tom?
Well, we are seeing pre-sales of 9/8 approaching $100. So people are scooping these up right now because this is the first appearance of Bloodline, the daughter of Blade.
We've been talking about this for years. It was solicited, it was never released, but the fact that we have a 14-year-old girl that has been now cast in the new Blade movie is causing rampant speculation that we could be seeing Blade's daughter.
An increase of 1,017% in the last 7 days. Hot damn, this comic book is featuring the daughter of Blade indeed. But they changed the character because the character was never actually canonized with the release of a comic book 7 years ago.
So when we first got solicitation, this was supposed to be a character named Fallon Gray, who was from rural Oregon. Well, we now have a new character named Brielle, who's known as Bloodline. In the free comic book day book, it actually says there is a number 1 for Blade's daughter coming in the fall. It's always a good idea to speculate on this next generation because right now there is a lot of the torch passing from one generation of the older heroes to their kids, and I think this is a good book for people to pick up, and it is a very cheap entry level.
Now, we've been doing this video every week for 4 years straight without skipping a beat. If you want to support what we do, hit the link in the description. Go to comictom101.com and join the July Mystery Mail Call. It's my excuse to send you comics every single month. And one per box. Every member gets a Daredevil #1 cover art done by Marvel legend artist Gary Frank. A classic Elektra going in every single box. Join the community. And at the list at #2, what if everyone got a genie? What if everyone got one wish? What if this book came out in the last month and then a month later got optioned? Well, at the list at #2, we have just that. 8 Billion Genies issue #1.
$8 average sales, $25 high sale for a raw. There are a ton of great variants on this one, but we are also seeing that there are pre-sales of a CGC 9.8 for $90. Keep in mind that since this book is only about 5 weeks old, it's still going to be some time before all of those come back. But the news that Amazon has optioned this for a show is making these books fly off the shelves.
We have an increase of copies sold of 650%. 8 billion people get one wish granted. The genies are so comical. It's going to translate really well to the screen. This is a comic everyone needs to read, and if you head to an LCS nearby, there's a good chance they still may have one.
For those of you that liked curse words, this is another great book from the same team, and I think Amazon's going to hit this one out of the park.
Hit the subscribe button, slap the like button, enter to win this Invincible Omni-Man Tyler Kirkham variant by commenting down below. What do you think about this list? Specifically, what would be your one wish you would have granted if a genie popped up and offered it to you? And the #1 trending book of the week is a book that no one was specking on.
Hey, Tom, that's my line. #1 on the list, Spectacular Spider-Man Annual #4. This is the first appearance of Tamara Blake. We are seeing $10 average sales and $50 for a CGC 9.4. $35 for a CGC 9.2. I only saw 17 of this book graded on the census, and none of the 9.8s have been in the market in at least 2 years.
We have an increase of 3,750% this week. Hot damn! But you know, this be a double key. It's an origin issue of Ben Parker and Aunt May. Maybe that has something to do with all this spiking.
No.
Not even a little bit?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, well, we do have a situation that took place this week. Iron Cat #1 debuted. Spoiler warning. Tamara Blake is indeed Iron Cat, and Jed McKay and Per Perez put together a fantastic book. This was such a fun comic to read.
I really think calling the book Iron Cat is just deterring people from buying it.
They gotta check it out. It's so damn good.
But okay, so you have to keep in mind that #10 on the list, when we were talking about the Black Cat #12 with the scan variant, it's going to be a low print book, and people don't really know about the introduction of that Iron Cat costume. Bringing back a character like Tamara Blake, who was a love interest of Felicia Hardy, almost caused the breakup of her and Peter Parker back when Black Cat and Spider-Man were dating. This is a great character with a very deep backstory. It's a 5-issue miniseries. Issue 1 just came out this week, so if you want the first appearance of the woman that ends up being Iron Cat in the new miniseries, this is the book you want to get. #1 on the list, Spectacular Spider-Man Annual #4.
Comic fam, we appreciate your time today. As always,
Geek responsibly.
Enough said. Join myself, this guy, and the rest of the squad every Wednesday on Whatnot Wednesdays, the best new app to buy and sell collectibles. Link in the description. We bring the keys, dollar start auctions that last as little as 15 seconds long. And if you are watching this on Saturday or Sunday, whenever we get this out, I am at the Denver Fan Expo streaming all weekend with so many of my homies. I'll see you there. Have a great week. We also have 2 other videos for you to check out. Bye.